Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing. I want to welcome my new subscribers. Hey, guys. And I hope that you will share this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it or if it's been a blessing to your life. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you will be one of the first to know when I post new videos. I have not done as good a job as I wanted to with posting videos. However, I am committed to sharing my testimony with you all. So I have new videos coming out for you very soon. Today, I want to talk about escaping the narcissist. And not just like escaping the narcissist, but things that I wish I knew when I escaped my ex-abuser, my ex-husband. I wish I had known these things in advance, but a lot of times with narcissistic abuse, you don't learn about it until after you're already out of the situation. So that was the case for me as well. I actually was about a week out of the situation, or a week before I decided to escape, is when I discovered narcissism very randomly. And I was like, no, my husband's not a narcissist. And everything just clicked. And if you have been involved with a narcissist, then you know exactly what I mean. You start listening to things and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, this and that. And it just all goes together. And it is very strange almost how they have some of the same tendencies and demonic behavior. It is such a crazy situation to be in. So unfortunately, if you have been entangled or ensnared by a narcissist, then this video is for you if you have not escaped, or if you have escaped but you are contemplating going back, or even if you have a friend or a family member that has not escaped but they are planning on it. Please share this video with them. As I usually like to inform you all, I usually like to inform you all that I am not a licensed therapist. I'm not a professional counselor. I do have many degrees, however, they are not in that field whatsoever. So I just like to put that little disclaimer out there that the things that I'm saying and speaking to you through my channel are based on my personal experience. I lived through it. God brought me out of it. I'm a survivor. And if God delivered me from the hands of the enemy, I know that He can do it for you and for so many others. It has been on my heart to share this information with you because I have seen a lot of tragedy happening recently in our world, from women who are being beat by their husbands, their boyfriends, and then they're either not surviving it, unfortunately, or they are finally awakening. And I thank God for His hand on my life and for the obedience that I had to demonstrate in order to survive and get out. So let's go ahead and get into my suggestions for escaping a Christian narcissist or just a narcissist in general. I do believe that the information I provide you with today has the ability to help you and help others as well. So, all right, I'm going to start by trying to list them, and then I may just get caught up in explaining parts of my story. Sometimes that's just how it goes. I like to be completely honest, and in doing that, it kind of triggers memories for me of things that happened in my life as well. So, my first piece of advice or suggestion when escaping a narcissist is to plan a very quiet exit. So what that means is that you are not telling the narcissist that you are leaving them. You are not giving them hints or clues that you're leaving them. You are not sharing with their family and friends that you are leaving. You develop a plan very, very quietly. And the only people that you notify of your plan are those that are a part of the escape. That is all. That's it. I'll give you an example from my own personal experience. When the time came for me to escape my ex-husband, I had just found out about narcissism and it was completely freaking me out. And I kind of went into this survival mode. I did not know any of these things about escaping narcissists. I did not, I'm telling you, it was truly God completely in my life and giving me the wisdom, because I did not have anyone that had ever heard of anything like this before, nor was I far enough or deep enough into the videos yet to really get an understanding. So when I was escaping, I only told my family and friends that were going to be a part of the move. I knew that they would bring protection with them. I knew that once they found out that I had been abused in my marriage, they were not going to be playing with him. I knew that they would be able to get in and get out. Now, if you can hire movers, that may be a good thing, but they also need to understand just how serious it is. For my family, we were in and out in about 2.5, maybe 3 hours max, but I do not even think it was 3 hours. As far as my memory can recall, I want to say it was about 2 hours that we took to just pack everything and go. I remember when we entered into the house, I was like, oh, okay, well, this goes here and this goes here. And they were like, listen, this is not an organized move. We have got to get up out of here, because if he comes home, it's not going to be good. Like, they were ready. And so I only told those that were involved in that process. I will never forget them. I could probably never repay them. And so I planned my exit quietly, which included some things that I'm going to share with you on here as well. But I pretty much just told everybody I had been in an abusive marriage. He had put me in the hospital before. He put his hands on me several times, that he was really crazy, that he had this demonic secret life that he was living, that he was not who he said he was. He's not an ordained minister, or he is, but that's not the life he lives. I pretty much just laid it on thick, and my family was just so concerned, but they were very supportive, and so were my friends, and everybody showed up for me. Now, if there's a better way that you can do that, then hey, go ahead and do it. But my first piece of advice or suggestion is that you plan quietly. The ex and I did not have any mutual friends per se. So I do not have to worry about not telling our mutual friends. But if you have mutual friends, please do not tell them. You have to understand that anyone that's connected to the narcissist does not view them the same way you do, and they are on their side. So if you think that you're going to convince them to get on your side or anything like that, no. Even though they may full on well believe you, I know that the ex's family and friends, they knew that I was not crazy. They knew those tears were real. And they also knew that I was telling the truth. But are they going to turn their backs on that person, or are they going to choose your side? No, they're not. They are enablers and they ride for this person. They are flying monkeys. They're not going to do that. So I just want you to realize and understand that when I'm telling you to plan quietly, that does not mean telling people that you all have in common. Okay. Also, leaving quietly can be hard for people because they almost want the attention from their lover, their spouse, or whomever. They're like, okay, maybe if I tell them that I'm leaving, they will get it together and stop behaving like this, or try to fight for me to stay. And that is a toxic trait of us, of survivors, that wanting to feel that, or feeling love through, oh, you're fighting for me. And, that we'll have to get into that in another video, and that can be dealt with in therapy. But no, that's that trauma bond that wants to keep you stuck. So, please do not tell your ex-abuser that you are leaving in hopes that they will convince you to stay. Let's just be honest with ourselves. If they hadn't changed up to this point, do you really think they are going to, or that they want to? If they've abused you, that's not love. So telling them that you're leaving has got to be one of the most dangerous things to do, in my opinion. Dr. Romney said it best. She's a psychologist. She talks a lot about narcissistic abuse. She has a lot of videos on YouTube. And Dr. Romney once said, the only thing harder than staying with the narcissist is leaving. And I cannot agree more. It is one of the most difficult challenges you may ever have to face. However, it can be done. So again, my first suggestion would be to plan your exit quietly. The second thing that I would suggest is that you start moving. Start changing passwords to all of your accounts, every type of account you can think of. I'm talking about online banking, emails, everything. Go ahead and do that either like the day that you move or the day before you move. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I did not change up too many things before leaving just because I did not want him to be onto me. Narcissists have like this demonic intuition type thing, and they can sense when someone is getting fed up and when they're ready to go. So I did not want to change that many things in order for him to catch on to what I was doing. He still did kind of, and I can share that with you momentarily, but he did kind of catch on because when it came time for me to move, it was really bizarre. But yeah, so I would change your email passwords. In fact, get a new email altogether. I had my email address for, probably as long as email started. I don't know. And I had to unfortunately let it go because, but I didn't do it until later on after he hacked into my stuff. So I'm giving you this piece of advice because I was an example of what happens when you don't do that. So I did not change all of my passwords right away, and he did hack into my accounts. And so I am suggesting to you to go ahead and change your passwords and your information. Notify whomever you need to notify that if this person comes around, they are not allowed to do X, Y, and Z. Put double passwords on things like, hey, if I ever call in to inquire about my bill, please ask me this question, and this is going to be the answer. I mean, you have to go to those extreme measures that seem like, oh yeah, I don't need to do that. You actually do need to do that. Trust and believe that the narcissist will always try to be about 10 steps ahead of you. So you have to fight for your life and play to win. So my second suggestion would be to go ahead and start changing passwords, emails, of course, your telephone number, but not until you have escaped, maybe like the same day or whatever the case. A lot of times people do not want to get a new telephone number. However, it was best for me. I did not have children. I had a miscarriage, which I share in another video with the narcissist. And that allowed me to be able to completely just change my number and change everything. Another thing would be to change your address. I went about a week before I was escaping. I went and opened up a P.O. box in a completely different city, about an hour away. And if you are capable of doing that, I would suggest that to you. So that way, when it came time for me to leave, every business or whomever already had my information to start sending things to my P.O. box. And I did do that pretty far in advance because I needed mail to stop. I did not want to come back over there for absolutely anything. Any mail that came over there to him or that went over there to him after my escape, he could keep it. Like it wasn't anything important, and he was not going to be able to hoover me back with it because I did not care. So, I did change my address though immediately. I'm talking about on everything that you can. So second piece of advice or suggestion, change your email, your passcodes, your online banking, your doctor's office, all the apps on your phone, all of that type of stuff. You change that stuff as soon as you can, but not too early because you do not want them to catch on to all the changes and what's going on. And I'll give you an example of that. We used to have an app. I can't remember the name of it, but there's an app where you can share like your schedules so that you can see what events you have coming up as a family. It's like some sort of family app. And we used to do that, or I used to do it mostly when we were married. When I went to go and delete it, it told me, and I was so thankful that it told me, but it said, we are going to send an email notification, and it listed both of our emails. It was like to both emails. And I was like, no, because if I had done that, then he would have known, okay, she's getting fed up and she's trying to leave. Even though I was in the discard phase at the time, I knew that he was just not going to let me go that easily. It's like abandonment to him. So as soon as it flashed up that, hey, it's going to send an email to both of you, I was like, yeah, no, like I can't do that. And so I didn't do that until the day that I left, because it had like tracking features on it and all that type of stuff. And so change all that tracking apps, delete those. I deleted them. Oh my gosh, like so many things when it comes to changing passwords and email addresses and your address and things like that. My third suggestion would be that when you relocate, the place that you're going to, if it is at all possible, please go somewhere where the narcissist has no idea of that address. They don't even know that exists, okay? Because it's bad enough that sometimes narcissists will harass you, stalk you, follow you, things like that. But it makes it really easy if they know exactly where you are. I know for me, the narcissist knew where some of my family members lived. We weren't married long. I want to throw that out there. We had a rather short marriage. I continuously prayed for God to reveal his heart to me. And within a matter of a month or two is when I started to discover his horrific secrets. And although our marriage was short, he did know where some of my family members lived. Likewise, I knew for his family members. So when I was planning my escape, I knew I wanted to go somewhere where he had no clue where I was. So I couldn't go to my parents or certain family members or anything like that. And I did not. If you have the ability to be able to go somewhere else, I would suggest that you do so. If you need to go to a shelter for time being, I don't know your circumstances, only you do, but it is worth all of that to save your life. And if you have children, your children's lives. You have to, I think people sometimes don't take abusive people seriously. And if you play with them, you're playing with your life. And I realized that early on, and it was that helped me to escape. So yeah, my third suggestion would be to go to an unknown location, quote unquote hideout or whatever, so that they are unaware of where you are and they cannot instantly turn around and start hoovering you back in. If you are new to learning about narcissism and you hear me using some terminology that is unfamiliar to you, I will try to create a video where it kind of just breaks down my understanding of what each of the words are mean. But hoovering is basically where they try to come back. The narcissist tries to come back to either lure you back into the abuse, or it's a malign hoover where they're very upset that you left. So they're like doing things like stalking and harassing you because they're just upset about the abandonment. But all narcissists hoover most of the time, not always, but most of the time they hoover. And so you just have to be careful with that, because you don't want them to draw you back in with future faking and fake apologies and things like that. So my third piece of advice would be to go somewhere that is unknown to the narcissist. And then I want to go back to number 2 just for a quick second. I forgot to include in there that when you are planning your escape, to go ahead and turn off all location services on your cell phone, your Apple iPads, and anything like that. You want to go ahead and make sure that you turn off your location services. So, number 1, plan your escape quietly. Plan to leave quietly. Do not tell anyone except for those that are involved. Number 2, go ahead and change your passwords, turn off location services, update all of your information, get you a new address that's a P.O. box. And then number 3, your accommodations, where you're going to stay. Try to go somewhere that is unknown to the abuser. Unless, again, you have children, that's a totally different situation. I did not have children with my ex-husband by the grace of God. Like, I had a miscarriage and I did not have children with him. So he did not need to know my location. Again, remember that my videos are based off of my experience, because I am not an expert, but I know that God wants to use my testimony to bless others. So those are my suggestions for you. And then lastly, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about filing for a restraining order or some sort of protection order. I know how it feels to not want to get someone in trouble, or, that, you're thinking that's my husband, or your fear is the retaliation. I completely understand that because I have been there. However, I should have filed for a restraining order sooner. Please do not make the mistake I made. The abuse only continued, and it gave him an opportunity to hack into my accounts, to start deleting pictures of the evidence. Now, thankfully, I was able to back up so much stuff, and I was able to notify family and friends and send out pictures to everyone, and just to make sure that everyone had information about everything, just to kind of spread the news out so that it was no longer a secret that I kept within myself, because that was dangerous, that I knew so much about him. I just went ahead and told everybody, like so many people, and gave them the proof and evidence and everything. But he was able to hack into my account and steal like pictures of the abuse and things like that. And so I should have filed for a restraining order sooner. Needless to say, my restraining order was still granted. However, again, that was by the grace of God, because I think that the judge that I had, she was anointed to serve us at that time. And she granted it because I knew that she knew that what I was stating was real. I backed everything up. You have to keep your evidence and all those things. And I did just that. And so she granted it, but it was not easy at all. Do not make the mistake I made. If the opportunity presents itself for you to get a restraining order, do not play with your life. I had a coach tell me that when I was in the midst of everything, and they were like, you are going to regret it later if you are silent now. And I wish I would have spoken up about the abuse much sooner. Remember that my ex-abuser is an ordained minister. That's why I always talk about the Christian narcissist in quotation marks. But he is also a city officer for a major city. And police officers, they protect each other. And that's pretty much what they did. And so I wish I had just spoke out sooner. But those are my top suggestions for you. I'm probably sure I could go on and on and on and on and on about different scenarios and situations that happen within my own experience. However, I won't keep you much longer. It was just on my heart to go ahead and share with you all what I did to escape, because although I thought to myself, I didn't really do all these marvelous superhero type things, I realized that there are some people who don't even know those things to do. So I hope this blesses you in some way. If it does, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and turn your notification bell on, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I am back and I will have more content coming for you all. I do want to apologize to those who subscribed to my channel before and I disappeared on you. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with you. I needed to get back to myself to heal. I was in life coaching, therapy, which those things are all amazing. But I was also in the midst of divorcing a narcissist. And that was really, really, really a nightmare. If you are in the middle of a divorce or leaving the narcissist, then you understand just how difficult and challenging that can be. And I needed all of me. I needed all of my energy, all of my mental. I needed everything to survive, to stay strong, and to keep going. So I am here. I am back. And I am here to share with you and to remind you that you can do this. Sometimes I just needed to be reminded, and I was, by family and friends that were so supportive, that I got this. And that on days that I don't have it, that God's got this. There was no way that I was going to give up and stop and turn back after everything he had done to me, after everything that I had lost. And now I know that God saved me to be a blessing to others. So I am committed to doing just that. So if you are escaping a narcissist, please do so wisely. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt and thinking that they're going to do what's right. That does not save a life. Please, I urge you guys to choose yourself first. Choose your children, choose your family, choose your future first. You are not happy. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you are not happy, because I was there and I was always trying to get back to that feeling that we used to have that was completely fake. And escaping has been one of the greatest blessings of my life. I escaped my old mindsets. It was more than just escaping the narcissist. That demon was after me before him. So I just want to encourage you to keep going, and to do so with wisdom and with patience. And keep in mind that there is something over the mountain, okay, on the other side of that mountain. So I will check in with you all again very soon, post some more videos with my face on there, actually, but I just had to get this content out to you all. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, and you all be safe again. Or I'm not sure if I even said it in the beginning, but do contact the National Domestic Abuse Hotline if you need to for more information, your local police department. Get that information on file. Go ahead and start that paper trail. Leave quietly. God bless.